episode of the Talk Podcast, and this is the third episode in this year. Last year we were with Millennium University. We were talking on a healthy mind, healthy body. So right now we are also in another month where we are doing a lot on mental health. So our focus will be on do men talk? That's the topic of discussion today. My name is Michael FMC Chineri, and of course I'm not alone. I have a guest with me.
Hi guys, my name is Elizabeth Janika.
All right, so I will let you do a detailed introduction about yourself because sometimes people would want to authenticate whatever you're saying. They would want to know who are you and what is it that you do and why should we, you know what I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're free to do an introduction.
All right. Hi guys, once again. My name is Elizabeth Janika. I'm a social gender personnel. I did my bachelor's at William University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Right now, I'm working with ESCOM under the Social and Gender Department.
I didn't know that ESCOM has a social gender department.
It has.
So this whole gender thing, I think it has infiltrated in all sectors, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel like with the rates, with issues to do with gender nowadays, I think like every office, there is a component of gender in it. I feel like it has affected a lot of people in a number of ways.
Yes.
Now, talking about that, we have this other mind-blowing issue on mental health. Mm-hmm. It's something that as a nation we have looked down on, but I've seen that as of now, it's something that we have now started paying more attention to at the moment. Because we have had a lot of cases where people have reported having done something out of having issues with their mental health. Mm-hmm. So a good mental health equals to well-being, you know?
Yes.
So now, this month I've observed in a number of platforms where people are talking about men and mental health. Mm-hmm. Because it looks like when you talk about mental health, it's always about some general issues, women and then whatnot, but we haven't paid much attention to men. Yeah? Actually, I came across this other discussion somewhere where people were discussing to say, do men talk or men don't talk? Or should men talk? Mm-hmm. It's something of interest. I saw you did a video in the same.
Yes.
You were talking about, I don't know, what was that video about?
Okay.
Yeah.
So recently I did a video. A friend approached me. Yeah. About the men's mental health being in June. Yeah. So he was like, let's do this video. I know you're passionate about mental health and it's partly a gender issue. Yeah. So the video was all about encouraging men to speak up. I know what is the gender norms and the cultural norms. There are these stereotypes that say, Amuna, Msamalire, Amuna, don't speak up. So I was trying to address that specific stereotype. That you're a being, you have feelings, you get hurt. If you know what you're not okay, speak it up. Lirani, you feel better and then you can proceed with your life.
But you know, these cultural norms and the rules that are constructed, I would say constructed or just made, because these are things that are made, like they're just constructed social constructs. Yeah. So, but do you really? I mean, should we say that men don't talk, or do men don't want to talk?
For me, I would say men don't talk.
Men don't talk.
Men pretend.
But do men want to talk?
Some want to talk.
Yeah.
But then some don't want to talk. The perspective is, what will they think of me? I'm a man, I'm supposed to be strong. Now we go back to those stereotypes.
Yeah.
No, don't cry. You're a man.
Yeah.
So because they have grown up with that thing, they don't want to talk. But then if they want, they fear that they'll be judged. Yes.
I feel like the way you've said, because they fear that they will be judged. But now, you understand, sometimes what triggers that fear? Because sometimes you get second to let's on Facebook. I've seen a couple of posts where men would try to express their feelings online, but what they get is a backlash. Yeah? Or I don't know, because you can be there advocating good men should talk. Yeah? But then these men are afraid to say, if we talk. Because what measures are there to ensure that when these men talk, it shouldn't escalate their mental health problems. Yeah? Because sometimes you talk thinking that maybe you want to be helped, but what you get is just a backlash. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, I don't know how best should we do these things, because I'll tell you honestly, men have issues.
Yes.
A lot of issues.
Yes.
Yeah? Maybe they talk, but they don't talk to the right person. Because, I mean, men talk to each other.
Yes.
But who do you want men to talk to? Because that's another issue. Maybe just because you don't get to hear them talking.
Yes.
Or is it that they completely don't talk at all? In your experience?
In my experience, I feel like men, they don't talk. If they talk, they pretend that they are talking about the issue. There are very few men that I know and I've experienced with them that they came close and opened what was on their mind so that they should get help. But then majority, they go out, maybe they are friends, say little to their friends, but I don't really think that they talk to that extent that a lady can talk to another lady to get help. So for me, I would say that maybe if men had these platforms like how we ladies have, that they can go there, they'll be helped, they'll get advice. I think that could be a best approach.
No, when you say platforms, I would want to understand. Like, do ladies have special platforms where they go and then offload their worries?
Yes,
like,
we do.
What platforms are we talking about?
Okay, the same social platforms, like sometimes we have groups. Group of friends. We form a group and then we know that, okay, Elisa is going through this and this and this. And we are able to address the concerns of Elisa. At the end of the day, Elisa will that place, is now free and is moving on with their life. But then, for men, I really can't tell.
But I would want to understand, like, who are these people in these platforms? Because I understand sometimes it depends on who you're talking to.
Yes.
Yeah, because this is just another social platforms where people are what platforms are we talking about?
No, it's not any other platform, but there are other platforms already we have, and they specialize in psychology, where we can go and talk to them. There are other platforms already, because someone was close to and how many they deal with mental health issues, we are able also to get help from them. So, as ladies, we are naturally emotional beings. We confront easily and we get helped easily.
And you easily talk.
Yes, we easily talk compared to you men. So you can be my friend, say you're female. I know you're male, but say you're female. You identify as he.
Anyways, we'll talk about that.
You identify as he, but for now, say you're female. I can be able to come to you because I know that maybe you majored in psychology or something about mental health and talk to you and say, okay, I'm facing through this. Mwina Mwaji's hands, or maybe what she said. Okay, I was doing business and then the whole thing, I'm stressed or other things. You can come in and offer help to me and offer solutions to me. At the end of the day, the solutions is only one device on that conversation. I'll be able to grab them and go home. I'm not hiding something inside. So I think that's what we're driving at.
I think up to what extent should, because we're just talking about men should talk. Somebody's out there thinking, what exactly are we saying we should be talking about? Because to what extent are we offloading what is in our mind? Is it that you just find a person where you try to narrate everything that is happening? No. Because what type of talking are we talking about? Is it that just because you've encountered the same issue and then you want to tell someone, okay, I think I'm going through this? Or to what extent or at what level is this talking that we're talking about?
Find someone you trust. Find someone who is professional. Who knows what they are doing.
But the services are very expensive.
That's why we have relationships. That's why we have friendships. So among your friends, this one is mature. This one can help me. You can confide in that person. Or maybe you have a relative, they can advise you. You can go to that person as long as you trust them. So to what extent should men go is, I think, offload everything.
Everything.
Yes.
Nice.
Everything. I know everything is a lot.
Yeah.
But I would say offload everything. Everything.
Is it that when you're offloading everything, you just want somebody to hear you out, or you want somebody to offer solutions? Because there are two things.
Yes, both of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes, as a person, you get the help that you need by just offloading without getting
just
anything.
Feeling at peace.
Yes, without getting anything. And then there are sometimes when someone should help you immediately, like me now, what's my solutions to your problems. So both ways.
Like, ever been in a situation where somebody is telling you how his story, and you happen that by just hearing the story, you don't even have a solution to that. Actually, you're just like, wow, okay. But that person is trying to talk to you so that maybe you should help. But then you find yourself in a situation where you literally can't. The thing is, I'm trying to run away from giving an example. You get it? Okay, for instance, nowadays.
Give me an example.
Yeah, no. The issues, let's say these are marital issues, where this is a family, and then they're having issues in the family. And now, the issue I'm going to present, let's say you talk to both parties, and then you understand many aliens are going clear. It seems like there is no any direct solution, but you can't offer any solution.
Yeah.
The only solution, which is not even a solution, is good for these people to be
separated.
You get it? But maybe you're limited, you can't offer that. You get it? So these are the issues I'm talking about. You feel that vote wabanga explain adawa. Ndozi mwina. Olo apapo zomo kwamba uyu mina bangia uyu. You can't try to merge these people together, like to bring them together, because the issues on it it's hard to solve. You get it?
Okay.
Because I'll take you this let's say as a church setup, in a church setup, a pastor is meant to bring together, is meant to join, not to separate.
Yes.
But do you know there are some issues in families where maybe talking as a general person right now, as a philosopher, just as a not without involving any theology and whatnot, you still got the solution to that. You get it?
Okay.
But now, because it's a church setup, these people have been forced, because the church is not meant to separate people. It's meant to bring together people. So, in that scenario where you look, how do you think that can be addressed? Because I'll tell you, a majority of people here in Malawi, they claim or they are religious people.
Yeah.
And being religious, it means most of your issues. Before we talk about these therapy sessions, the only place where we get immediate therapy is through the church institution or in our respective gathering where we worship. So in these places, there is already a guideline towards certain things. There are standards to say, if it is what but then somebody goes to the church, wabanga present scenario yage, also they can't go to that extent. Say, I think I'm about to I don't know whether, but I imagine that scenario.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to bring this issue to just to make sure that we need to know the right way to go with our issues. Because some places might be limited to offer certain solutions.
Yeah.
So how do you look at it? Because being in a nation where a lot of people, our allegiance is towards a religion, places of worship.
Yeah.
That's why we express them more. So how best should those institutions help in such circumstances?
What a question.
I don't know whether it's a question. This is a case study.
Okay. What a case study. When it comes to religion, it's tricky because, as you said, in a church, it's not separated. So in this way, I would say find means you're together still. there is something they say, Woody, you as a person, you believe Woody ugamalizila tissue ku toilet, you have to roll it back. And when I'm not know, mujijotse, mugaisiega maybe bamamba ba window or something. That's how you were brought up. That's how I was brought up. Komano, you are right in your own way. I'm also right in my own way. But still, for us to live together, we have to find a means. It means we have to talk about it. Okay, if we were brought in this way, I was brought in this way. What if tissue dizimusi abina bagi? So we're trying to find something 50-50 in between. So my advice would be still more, find 50-50.
Now you see, find 50-50. So you're trying to campaign for 50-50 where you should find a means of bringing these people together.
Yes.
But of course, we talked about mental health. But these scenarios, I just want to get a clarification. Because sometimes we're going a bit into relationships. So, sometimes what happens in relationship is this. People start dating, They're in a relationship. And then because they're in a relationship, maybe some get tired in that relationship. Or they completely lose interest. You get it? Okay, these are things that are happening out there. People lose interest. To an extent that they wouldn't, even if that person apologizes, that person will say, I've already lost interest. Do you get it? Because there are two ways how these things work. There's somebody who can be forced to be in a thing just because of the culture or the faith that someone holds. Get it? But literally, he'll be there or she'll be there because of that, but not with her mind in it. You get it? Because the way you are brought up as a person, as someone of faith, definitely, no matter what happens, let's say in a family, you still be forced to be together.
Yes.
You are bound by a covenant.
Yes.
But literally, in as much as we want to be together, but we're together just because it's a church that joined us. It's the court that joined us. It's the culture that made us to be together. But you as a person, you are not in it. You get it? These are scenarios that people face in relationships. These are things that people may not even be willing to talk about. Because when you go to a pastor, you won't say, no, I've lost interest. You get it? You wouldn't want to say that. You just point out, no, but I need to. So in short, what I've seen so far, I've seen that there are people in marriages, even men in marriages, who are just holding on to the pain that they have, right? They can't talk about it because even if they talk, there are systems or there are some walls that are still going to force them to be in it. You get it? Maybe these people, the only way for them to be free is when they're out.
Okay. So when you say when they are out, let's say...
let's learn away from it will be limited if you talk about marriage institution.
Okay.
Come on, let's say you're in a friendship. Maybe it will be easier to give an example. Let's say you're in a friendship.
Okay.
But this is a very toxic relationship.
All right.
Yeah? But because you're somebody who has a very good reputation, people know you're someone with values and principles. So you've been in that relationship for 2 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, 5 years. But then you have observed your partner, you've been with your partner, but then you have come to an extent to say, I think some of these things, I don't think this person can change. I don't think these things, we've talked over them, but I don't think nothing can work out. You get it? In that scenario, would you still stick to that just because the people that are surrounding you, or the people that you're over, in the name of just protecting their reputation?
Yeah, that one is different.
Yeah, that one is different. Yes. I know, that's why I went to that one.
That one is different because I believe, Kudi, something toxic is not good for your health.
Yeah.
Majisanzo. You have a drink that is expired.
Yeah.
And you take it.
Yeah.
You get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they ask you, why did you drink it?
Yeah.
Didn't you see the expiring date?
Yeah.
So the only advice I would give you is So if it's something toxic, I know there are other people come in relationships where they get beaten. Men get beaten.
Yeah. It's true. It happens.
It's not only ladies. Men get beaten. Yeah. So if it's something toxic, I would advise.
No, because it's a toxic relationship. But if it's a toxic marriage.
If it's a toxic marriage, I would still more say find a way.
Yeah.
No,
if it's a toxic relationship, you can move on.
You can
but
move
if it's a toxic marriage, find a way.
No, not really find a way because Nandi Dula. But even in the marriage, or even when you go to church, there are some conditions that for the marriage to work or not. So if there are conditions like adultery, you are free to end the marriage if they meet those conditions. So just assess the relationship. Where are you going? Do you see yourself having this thing? Because maybe are far more in the marriage just because they were mentally not okay. They were getting abused in all kinds of ways. So just assess it. Move on if you can.
Because I brought that deliberately because I know, in as much as you're talking about men should talk, most of the issues that men are facing right now, especially talking about married men, because these are the people, most of them, I don't have the statistics for this, but without proper proof, but most of them, I'll just say most of them, they wouldn't want even to stay at home, even when it's a holiday. They'd rather go somewhere, party with some friends, just because they're just tired, They have issues, but they can't explain because they will tell you, no, you're the head of the family, you have to control. But there are things that are uncontrollable. You get it? There are people that, even if you keep talking to them, they fire back at you. You get it? So they would rather not talk. Because my understanding is, talking is not only about talking with somebody.
Yeah.
You can even talk to someone that you're close to, somebody that you're having even issues with. Because that's the first step.
Yeah.
So you talk to that person, and then you see what's happening. And then from there, you move to another step. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, because these are issues that men are facing. But they can't talk if there are systems that are like, okay, it's not common to see a man walking out of a marriage. It's usually maybe women that walk out.
That's biased.
That's biased, right?
Yeah, that's biased.
Sorry for that. We dropped that one. Yeah, but because I feel like men have a lot of issues. Sorry, I'll try to be gender insensitive, but I'll try as much to be sensitive at the same time. Because I feel like it would be wrong to say women complain over everything. It would be wrong to say that. But to some extent, women complain a lot. Yeah? Because the same issues that men complain about, maybe out of every 10 things, men would just complain maybe one thing. Yeah? But women, they are on the forefront complaining. So they look as if they talk much, like they talk. But these men, they look as if they don't talk just because sometimes they just choose to neutralize some of the things. Because they feel like maybe talking too much would even put them in a scenario where maybe it will create some loopholes in their marriages. Because somebody once told me is that the day that he was fired at work, he's been taking care of the family for more than 3 years. He was taking care of the wife and the children. But the day he got fired, the woman only supported the family for 2 months. But then the woman was talking everywhere. You say, this man can't even provide. I've been doing this. So these are the things. It looks as if men don't talk, but because for the 3 years that the man was taking care of the family, he never talked. He said, I'm taking care of everything. Because you, as the laws and the gender rules and the norms, they expect you have to do that.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when the woman does that, it becomes a talk of the day. Yeah. So these are things that men wouldn't want just to be talking anyhow
to anyone.
Yeah, I agree. So these are things that limit men to say they would want to talk, but then they wouldn't just want to be talking anyhow.
Yeah.
So if maybe we can create, I don't know, from your field of experience, looking at the issue that there is a problem that men don't talk. Yeah. What possible solutions are there? Yeah.
One, I would say if we would try to change our cultural norms, which is very difficult. Yes.
Trying to deal with the foundation that has been laid.
Very difficult. Command we can still do it because it starts in a family. A person we not let somebody in a family. So if say we are young couple, I am in a family or whatnot, try with the little children as they are growing up. Instill a guardian as okay, you are a person. In as much as you're a man, but you have to say it. Wagwa wa fulala, cry out and come to man, you go to that and say the fulala. So Anna Jagamagula in that way, Kazot they are now built up with a mind you can talk, I can get help. So that can be number one action. Number two is normalize having these talks with and holding their professionals in mental health. I know it's not common in Malawi. And people will say, one of those things help a lot. Because I'm not just a professional person, you go, you'll not find it anywhere. Because it's professionally trained to help people. So if you know what you are able to achieve or to attain that, go, that's another issue. Another one is these informal groups, make use of them. Or to find someone you trust, who you can talk to, and you know who this person has a reputation. And say sons are in marriage, their marriage is succeeding. Go to that person, ask advice. So before you get married, because Tabanga won't be in marriage, there are principles that's why you have to get books on marriage. You have to attend what do they
seminars
call it? Yes, seminars. So there are these pre-marriage sessions. Abanga Council. Those ones are very important. And even now and again, Umabanga listen to those kind of things. They help you a lot. They help you to know who you are and who your partner is. You, as a man, you are built different. I, as a leader, am built different. If you understand each other, and they would say even the nitty-gritties are many other kind in the relationships or marriages, they can be overcome. So get prepared before you go out there, get married or whatnot. Don't get married for fashion.
Don't get married for fashion. It's not swag.
It's not swag. Go there majority. Apart from that, I've talked about get professionals in marriages, get prepared, have informal groups somewhere where many you can go and talk to. I know you men have groups, so Magamba Zampira and whatnot. You can also find friends in those circles, talk to them, get help you need. And as you said, it's not good, they offer you solutions. But if you just let it out, I think, let me just say that. Where is the ceiling? Oh, the chingwe. No, you'll not get this.
Because now, and apart from just talking to a person, do you feel like there are other means where somebody can express themselves?
These platforms.
These platforms, where we are.
Okay, I've seen some people, they make joke of their pen. In a way, they are communicating. One, two. So they are healing at the same time. So you can also make use of that.
I remember they caught this line from Suffix. It said, "Nyimbo za tundi therapy, it's not kill my stress."
Yes.
You get it? So I feel like there are several ways where one can speak out their mind. There are other people who write.
Yes. Others write.
Some do poetry.
Yes.
Some do music. Books.
Yes.
People express. I feel like, okay, I would run away to say I for one, but I write some articles. But of course, from those articles, sometimes I write things that are, you feel good when you write them. You feel good, like every other thing. You wouldn't want to address somebody directly, but then you want to express, how do you feel? Like instantly, I would like. So sometimes we post, let's say, adverts.
Yes.
So we're posting adverts. It's your business. Now you post it online. You say, no, we're having this service. We're selling it at this amount of money. Buy this package. You need to travel to this place. And then somebody comments, pay for us. Yet it's your business. So you'll be like, okay. So I'm advertising my business. Somebody tells me I should pay. Somebody, So I was thinking, okay, can I write a status to say, the same way I've said it, what pisses me off is that I advertise something, and then somebody says, so what am I doing there?
Yeah.
So it's a way of trying to explain. Sometimes you explain it, people see it, people get to learn from it, people stop doing it. Yeah, unlike you confront somebody direct to say, no, you do this. Because one thing I've learned in life is that people, in as much as they know they're alone, but they wouldn't want to take a direct advice.
Yes, and it's really hard.
Yeah, just to say, no, Elisa, but some people here, the office, so I feel like sometimes the way we address things, maybe when you talk to people, we know, in as much as you're talking to people, it's not that you are on the right side always.
Yes.
So these people may need to collect certain things in you, but maybe you're a person who doesn't want to take correction.
Yes.
Yeah. So it even becomes hard for people now to help.
Yeah, to talk to you.
Yeah. So I think it's an area when you're talking about men should talk or people should talk, we should also know who are you talking to. And when you are talking, expect to get some correction.
Yes.
Because you wouldn't want someone just to get the good side of it, or just to say, no, what you're presenting is the whole truth.
Yes.
But sometimes you get a backlash to say, this is it. I remember, there are people that are honest with you. They tell you. There was a time when you were at school, so the fees was somehow hiked.
Okay.
So we went to the vice chancellor and we were like, okay, no, with the way the fees has been raised, we feel like 80% of the people Sawanisa fees. Get it? So there is one question that the vice chancellor asked.
Yeah.
He said, so when they are the student representative, he said, where are your statistics? You get it? So we made a hasty generalization based on assumptions with no
evidence.
So he said, where are your statistics? You said most of the people know. Have you done your research? Have you asked the people? So it's the same when you try to present your complaint. Sometimes we should learn to present evidence-based. Because sometimes it's just a matter of just talking, but sometimes you find yourself stressing over things that are not even there.
Yeah.
You remember this whole concept where people have resorted to create enemies that don't even exist?
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yes.
I know my enemies there, they don't want to wish me good. Every status, because these are mental health issues. These are objects that we create in our brain. Like, even not even talk about the gender perspective, even in the Christian circles, you get it?
Yes.
Where the only thing that you have in your mind is my enemies. You get it? So how do we address issues to do with mental, conceptual, to say the object that we create in our mind? Because sometimes people just have a feeling. These are things that people are dealing with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Some are not even talking, but they just feel like where you are. Even somebody's addressing things that don't even exist.
Yeah, but then we shouldn't run away from issue with it's natural for someone to have natural hatred. Like, I can just dislike you for no reason at all. So I wouldn't say everyone will like everyone, no. But there will still be those openings or you get hated someone. For no reason. So just swallow your pride and move on with life. Because if you stress about everything, you get sick, wonder, and then your health will deteriorate.
I think coming to that, we want to look at the solutions now. Because we are looking at mental health problems that are caused by conceptual creations, and two, the real threat that is there. Because I feel like there is more conceptual than the real threat. So how do we deal with these conceptual things at a personal level? Because I understand when you're dealing with everything, there is a part that you can control yourself, or you can control the other part of it. So how best one can control or can keep his mental health sane? Like keep it clean, like you don't want to have that. How best can someone do that?
Nice. So the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh, of which from your heart it goes straight to your mind, and then you speak it out. So as a person, make sure Woody, you are firstly clean inside. What you hear, what you watch and what you think about.
Yeah.
So make sure, Woody, you get the books, the right books, or they will help your mental health.
Yeah.
There are other books that they specialize in dealing with your mental health. I mean, when you feed on your mental health, those negative things will come with yoga. Or even your circles. Because your circles also influence how you think. And I've forgotten the book, but it says, if 5 of your friends are millionaires, you also be a millionaire.
Yeah.
So if 5 of your friends have mental health issues, you also have mental health issues.
Yeah.
So make sure that your circles are alright. And when you're interacting with them, no matter with this person, this mental health or her mental health is not fine. So make sure that your circles are alright.
Yeah.
And apart from that, I think I've exhausted everything.
Yeah. I think there is a book which says at war with your body. Like it says, but like it's more like putting your body at war. Like you're fighting yourself because the greatest enemy
is yourself.
Is yourself. Yeah. Because I'll tell you, in as much as there are people out there talking about you, planning something on you, but if you keep yourself to say, I don't have a hater. I don't care what people say. You keep yourself safe.
Yes.
Because it's when you start paying attention that you get yourself locked. Yeah. People will be there. People will be talking about a lot of things. But then when you put yourself under subjection to say, now I'm at war with myself. I don't want to have that inferiority complex where I just feel like somebody's trying to look down on me or somebody's trying to belittle me. I think that one helps a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Because once you deal with your mind, you have dealt with 80% of your problems.
Yes, that's true.
I feel like men, now going back to men, I feel like if men can have platforms, not any other platform, because the problem is, if we just say use every other platform, because we're dealing with different mindset perspectives. Some though they have even said to say at whatever cost I can never complain. You get it? And they have vowed to say no, we don't expect you as a man to come here and complain. What is she doing? Okay, she's doing this. Okay, do your worst as well. You get it? Because that's what we say now. Say it's not every other platform. But let's create platforms where only those who are interested can join to talk. Because they know this is serious business.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's the only way out, where people can talk. But the problem is, people, I feel like people do a lot with the Panadol type of treatment, the pain-killing treatment, than the real solutions. Because people say, okay, no, let's go out and drink. You get it? People drink, they haven't talked. They have just forgotten it for a moment and they're going to get back to it.
Which is a bad way of
Which is a bad thing. And even excessive drinking is sometimes the result of now failing to control your mental health, because you feel like you want to take a painkiller and then the other day you woke up with it.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should put in systems. You know better than this, because being in that field, it's something. It's just that maybe we don't have. Would say in a country like this where we depend much on donor aid, where we want someone to run a project, to implement a project on that, but we can create systems, free systems.
Yeah, free systems.
To say, can we come up with groups where people should talk, or teaching people how to deal with their mental health even on their own? Should they write somewhere in their diaries and whatnot just to express themselves? Because, like I said, the first thing that people do in a country like this one, where we are much affiliated with the church, prayer keeps us. It's more like it's therapy on its own.
Prayer is therapy.
Prayer is therapy on its own. When you pray, you feel like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Apart from that, and then you talk to a person. But the challenge you're talking to a person is sometimes the person you're talking to. So you are forced to go to a professional. Now the problem is when you're seeking professional services, in this country, they're very expensive.
Okay, I wouldn't say they're that expensive because I know few.
Yeah.
And they're actually good.
Yeah.
So
like actually, the first question is like, how much do they charge per hour?
I haven't been charged before, so I can.
Maybe you have a very good connection with these people.
I haven't been charged, but I think maybe I'll bring in next episode, maybe.
Yeah.
But then I'll tell the people how much.
Yeah, because you know what happens? We have people. They all check on us. They say, no, I want someone to talk to.
Yeah.
But actually, I've been asked, do you know any therapist in town? Or do you know anyone who you can talk to? But I'm like, okay, yes, there are people, but maybe you may not, you need also a sponsor, maybe a certain organization to pay so that people should be going for free services. So, I don't know. But if you know, it's in the next episode, we can talk about that to say, where can we get help to? Because we need people to be accessing this.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Really want to do that because, trust me, a healthy mind equals to a healthy body. Even productivity as a nation helps a lot. Minus that, we are doomed as a nation. There are behaviors that we may try to control from the outside, but these things are from within.
Yeah.
Everybody can freely express themselves anyhow just because they don't care. They've been through a lot. They have nothing to lose. Get? So that's an area where we should work on.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah. So, in general, in a nutshell, in conclusion, what can we say about this when it comes to men ought to speak or not?
Men, speak.
We have to
speak.
You
Get
just
the
have to
help
speak.
you need.
Yeah. Actually, she's gonna come back with some details on who to talk to, and the services that are currently available in the nation. But we want you as much as to speak. You can even choose to say, I have this burning issues that I would want to talk on the podcast.
Yeah.
You are free to talk. You cannot talk the names. You can just share your own experience to say, I've been through this. There are people out there who can help, who are willing to support. Yeah. You can even be used as an ambassador for different things on that one.
Yeah.
So till next time, you've been with me, Michael, MC, and
Elizabeth Janiga.
Great. See you in the next episode. Thank you so much.